All right. I want to talk about the Pono player thing that Neil Young, I guess, had on his Kickstarter thing, and he's the big cheese there over at there. To let you know that I'm a bit of more than a skeptic. See, there were, there's a review stating that it's a bunch of bullshit. And that basically, well, Neil Young goes on to lie to people, telling them that the loudness wars has to do with people using compressed MP3s instead of the real ideas that, the masters who take care of these tracks tend to like to blast these tracks and press the fuck out of them. And compressing meaning not compressed MP3s. We're talking about the technique of compressing when mixing. When you have a a mix that has been recorded, there's a technique called compressing. It can make they just compress the fuck out of it, and they can also raise the sound, raise the volume. Sorry, I'm a little drunk while I'm doing this, so just to let you know. But they normally blast the volume like crazy, and honestly for me, some albums I'm not affected by that. A lot of people seem to be really bothered by this. They're worried about dynamic, just some kind of symphonic sound or like a very spacious kind of sound or whatever. Depending if they made it sound correct, I'm not really bothered by this. But in cases such as Metallica's Death Magnetic, oh my fucking god! Yes, it is terrible. Is Metallica's Death Magnetic sounds like some little child fucking took a shoebox recorder and just took that shit and put it, just threw it randomly in the middle of Metallica's practice session and started recording the fucking music because it sounds terrible. It's just very noisy, a lot of white noise sound, a lot of clipping, and just terrible sound. And yeah, Rick Rubin. I don't know, but they just did a terrible job with that. And I think a 5-year-old could have done a better job at recording that album. There was a horrific clipping on that album, just terrible. You could tell that they just yanked the friggin' volume up as high as they friggin' could, because they think that volume equals good for some fucking weird reason, as if I don't have a volume knob on my goddamn fucking stereo or whatever. Okay. So after letting that go, with the Pono player, okay, so here's how the Pono player works, right? So the Pono player apparently has some nice specs with, audio quality, like the audio jacks and shit. They have nice, decent audio jacks and stuff and whatever, but then they have these high-res audio tracks, which has already been fucking proven that the high-res audio files actually sound significantly, or not significantly, I won't say significantly, but they sound worse. And why I don't say that they sound significantly worse is because there's just this little bit of noise that nobody gives a fuck about, that nobody can hear, and they're charging $20 a fucking album for this shit. And I want to point out, because I did try out one of these albums to see what they sound like, and I purchased it. I took the hit for $20 fucking dollars for this album, because I love music, I record music, yeah, I wouldn't consider myself an audiophile. I don't even have the money to be an audiophile. But I even subscribe to a very expensive. I had to cancel a couple services to subscribe to fit this into my budget. I wanted to subscribe to a service called Tidal, which is like, oh Jesus Christ, it's like what the fuck is it called? Streaming service. It's a very big streaming service. Begins with an S. Spotify. Right? It's like Spotify, but for high-res kind of audio. Now, I did notice a humongous, obvious difference between Tidal and Spotify. Like, I didn't have to listen to it for 5 seconds to notice there was a difference. Now, if you were to take Spotify, compare it to a CD, right? It's, again, an obvious difference. If you were to compare it to a freaking 320 MBBS file, you would notice a significant difference in the favor of the MP3 file. Because for whatever reason, the Spotify does not give you as good quality as that kind of MP3 file. Compare a MP3 file in that same bitrate to a FLAC file, and I will tell you right now, if you rip it properly, take it from a CD. So let's say we rip that from a CD. We rip the MP3 from the CD. We rip the FLAC file from the CD. Listen to them with an ABX test. You will not be able to tell the fucking difference. I scored a 46 on the test, which, I don't know. But that's not, obviously not 50. And I could not fucking tell the difference. I was really guessing. And there's really not much of a difference. Now that's from a CD. That's not high-res audio. Now, I've actually taken those high-res audio files, compared them to the CD rips, and found them to sound worse than the CDs. Like, muffled. So, I want to point out a couple things. Now, the Pono player, right, supposedly sounds really a lot better than, like, say, your Samsung Galaxy S4, using even Tidal, or I would say it would probably sound, more than likely would sound better than Spotify. Alright? But if I could actually get back to what I'm saying, because of the fact that I've got a few drinks in me, I would like to let you know. Okay, here we go. So, when you are looking at the Pono player, they tend to tell you, listen, if you want to take this player, you're going to want to upgrade your headphones to some better, very expensive headphones, just some kind of hi-fi, Sennheiser, or whatever headphones. And then, only then, you will hear the difference between your cell phone and, say, Spotify, and your Pono player. Yeah, that's where the problem is. I can actually tell the difference between a crappy-ass fucking, a crappy-ass music file and a good one, a good one with a cell phone. So, if you were to have a crappy overcompressed MP3 file that really destroyed the sound of a song, and you were to give me, say, some shitty ass fucking Apple headphones and I listen to the good quality song as opposed to the bad quality song on the same shitty ass Apple headphones, I could hear the fucking difference. Here's another problem. Okay, so people are going to be upgrading, right? You upgrade, you're going to be looking for a better sound, right? Yeah. Well, these people are coming from these shitty ass headphones, right? These shitty ass Galaxy S4s with these crappy headphones. Maybe they have better headphones, right? Maybe they're a little better because they're apparently audiophiles. So they actually, according to them, know something about audio. So they are told that they have to upgrade to these great headphones. Once they upgrade to these headphones, they start using that Pono player. Yeah, what happens then? Oh, right, yeah. Guess what? They're listening to the fucking Pono player with a gajillion times better headset. So before they were listening to this, Samsung Galaxy S4 using Spotify, which would have lesser quality sound, and they decide, okay, Neil Young and whoever the fuck else told me that I need to upgrade my headphones to get the best quality out of this friggin' stupid-ass Pono player. So they upgrade their fucking headphones, they go to the Pono player, and now, oh my god, it sounds so much better. You know why? Because they fucking upgraded their headphones, not because they listened to the stupid fucking Pono player. It has nothing to do with the Pono player. It has to do with the fact that you upgraded your headphones. And then, of course, there's the snake oil crap. The crap where you're like, oh, well, I spent this much money on this. It must sound better. Really? It sounds better. I think it sounds better. Maybe it sounds better. No. Wait, no. I think it sounds better. You got that crap going on. Of course. Who the fuck wants to know that they spent $400 on a piece of crap MP3 player? Especially when they're if I could actually think right now. Especially when when they've been hyped up so much that this thing's gonna sound so great. And then to listen to it and it basically sounds the same. And, are you gonna sit there and try to make yourself believe that it sounds the same? Or are you gonna sit there and go, yeah, it sounds better. It sounds better. You spent $400 fucking dollars on this thing. Yeah, you're gonna want to believe that it sounds better. I've been on the forums for the Pono player, and even the people that are there that are believing the snake oil bullshit. They are telling me things like, "Oh, well, you don't need to buy their HD tracks. You can just rip your CDs to FLAC files, and it will sound fine. It'll sound just as good." But the Pono player is so much better. Does that make any fucking sense? Why do I need the fucking Pono player if I can just rip my fucking CDs to FLAC files and they'll sound just as good? See, the Pono player is supposed to play their format of files that, according to them, my shitty fucking phone can't play. Yeah, well, if you're playing files that came ripped from your CD as FLAC files that my phone can fucking play, what's the difference? Why did you pay $400? Okay. I'm going to point out that, make sure, because I try to be honest, I want to make sure that I do not have a Pono player. I do not plan on getting a Pono player. I never heard of Pono player. But you know what? You know why I've never heard of Pono player? Because I never heard one. No, but really, the thing is, when I look for audio equipment, even though I'm not an audiophile and I'm not like, I require fucking super powered, fucking great sounding audio, when I want a speaker, I listen to it. At the least, if I can't listen to it, I look up reviews on it. If I can't look up reviews on it, if there's no ratings or reviews, I don't get it. I'm not gonna buy a fucking a music player that I've never fucking heard in my life and just hope that it's good. I'm gonna sit there and spend $400 on a fucking player if I can't fucking hear it. I need to be able to hear it or at the least, see reviews on it. But this Pono player that, you know, all these, I don't know, I'm having a hard time calling them audio files. They say they're so interested in sound and they're snobs, basically. They're audio snobs. They can't handle something that is of a lesser quality audio, yet they're going to buy a player that they've never heard in their lives, which to me means that they're uneducated in anything that has to do with audio at all. And, you know, I don't know. But, I mean, I like to move around a lot, just to let you know. I have ADD, so I jump around from subject to subject. So I'm just going to jump around to another subject, is I took the ABX test. And I think I mentioned this. And to tell you the truth, there was a lot of guessing. I couldn't fucking tell the difference. ABX test, yeah. I had to actually point in talking about this. So when I took this ABX test, I could really not tell the difference, which I already fucking told you. And I'm drunk. And I don't even remember what the fuck I was trying to get at. And I went through this whole big thing about telling you that I was going to get to something, and now I can't figure out what the fuck it was. So, yeah, basically the ABX test is a random, you know, you listen to 2 tracks randomly and try to figure out which is the, say, MP3 and which is the FLAC file, and most people cannot get it correct. Most people can't tell the fucking difference. Yeah. Even these audiophiles who are honestly quite stupid. I mean, they buy fucking $1,000 cables like idiots. You don't need $1,000 cables. You don't. All right, let's just put it that way. Cut it short. If I go off into an ADD rant, we'll be here forever. You don't need $1,000 fucking cables. You know what you can do? If you really want better sound, upgrade your speakers. Okay, upgrade your speakers is a big thing. The source. If you do truly have crappy fucking overcompressed MP3 files, okay, you'll probably have a shitty ass sound. You're gonna have some crappy sounding fucking overcompressed MP3 files with some hissing noises on them. Okay, we got that. Remember, the acoustics of your the space that you are in do play a difference, and all that fun stuff. So, like, you know, like the size of your house, what, you know, your house is made like wood. You know, you have your speakers on top of maybe a fucking piece of cloth. There's a lot of things involved. You have an empty space where your sound is playing into, so your music is playing into some empty ass house where you get echoes all the time. You know, there's a lot of things involved there. But simply upgrading things, getting better speakers, that doesn't mean that you have to spend $8 million bajillion. Really, check into some older equipment. It's actually very good. You can get for $20-something, you can get some really nice stuff that competes with shit that is like $1,000 fucking dollars. Okay? I'm actually looking into that myself. There's a lot of things. Sound is complicated, and, you know, not all of it is like, oh, well, all of it is due to the fact that you have overcompressed MP3 files as opposed to FLAC files. You simply may just be listening to it in a certain environment that is not complementing the music properly. Anything. There's a lot of factors that you can look at that have to do with sound that could be making your sound shitty. For less than the price of the Pono player, you can upgrade your speakers easily and have a gajillion times better sound. Whereas if you just went to the Pono player, you'd have like, maybe it sounds better. Let me rub some of that snake oil on me. You know. That is garbage. Do not fucking buy a Pono player. Upgrade your speakers. Do whatever. Check, where your speakers are, the placement of your speakers. Check to make sure that your speakers are on top of the correct material. Whatever. Anything. You may not have to spend anything. But the Pono player is bullshit. And the fact that Neil Young decided that he would tell you that MP3 files are the reason for the loudness wars makes me go, Neil Young is full of fucking shit. Thank you for watching.